Hello, Diggin. Hello, Michelle. Welcome. 9701 in service.
Hello, everybody, and welcome.
Hello, Andy, our magic counter. A beer. Really cool.
Whoa, look what we just found. It's really cold as last feeling days, but we got beer.
Got beer.
Was a girl from Spain, and Lolita was her name.
Rita.
We got stuff. Whoa, boys, we're in luck. Big apple stuff. You share with a shot. We got beer.
Got beer.
I'm glad for beer. I like a lot of beer. From the bottom to the top, I just can't stop with beer. One, two, three, four.
That's my favorite, Rolling Rock. They don't even make it anymore.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's show. It's Grizzly and
Sportcat is in the house.
that is right, ladies and gentlemen.
Press the superhero button.
That's right. Press the superhero button.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's just get this out of the way right up front, okay? Before we go any further, you got to be 18 years of older to participate or even to listen to this, just in case. I have
That's
no idea.
because I'm an adult.
Well, yeah, so we just want to make that disclaimer. If I have to throw it up on the banner, look, you are responsible
But
for
what about the people that are listening tomorrow that can't see the banner? We're supposed to describe that to them.
Yeah, so Michelle said,
balls.
oh
right.
my God. See what I deal with, ladies and gentlemen. So Michelle says, 9701 in service. Deacon, hello. Welcome. Andy says, good evening. And I know if I had to guess who this Facebook user is, right? If I had to guess, I'm going to say
is it one of my stalkers?
Brenda. Brenda's in the house. Is that right? Is that why you're laughing?
Who's Brenda?
She's the one I talked about, was in law enforcement, remember? So yeah, she said yes. Yes.
Okay. Hot chick. Okay, I'm with it.
So anybody out there, she's always looking for somebody that needs a right shoe. That's all, folks. Wow. All right. I love sound effects, ladies and gentlemen. That is correct. Whoa, what happened?
I don't know what you did there.
So what happened? What's going on this past week?
Oh, God. I don't know where to start.
I do.
Did
you hear what happened to me?
No, a lot always happens to you. I know you broke your tooth. So
yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of my personal psychics, they told me before I even was going to move.
Sorry, I'm just pushing buttons over here. I don't even know what this button is. Yeah, I ain't the button I wanted. So
my
radio station everyone loves. I love them a lot.
I love them a lot.
So Brenda's out here laughing. So, ladies and gentlemen, my personal psychic told me exactly when I was going to move. But during her interview, she told me all this stuff. And at the very end,
what you've all been waiting for.
she was like, Grizzly, before I let you go, you're going to have to go see a dentist and get your tooth fixed. I was like, what? I got good teeth.
Well,
I did. So the other night.
Let's go.
I have not smoked my crack, but I've drank my Mountain Dew.
My Lord. So I broke a crown, ladies and gentlemen. I had no idea I was a king. I didn't know I had royalty blood in me. So now I'm waiting for the insurance to approve the recrowning.
That's right. I'm going to keep that one queued up.
You see what I got to deal with, ladies and gentlemen? He does this to me off the air as well. So what's going on with you?
I need, and this may be a serious request, I need a good stalker because the last 3 have been really horrible. So,
wow.
Oh my God. It's been an interesting week.
Yeah, I have because I've noticed that there has been some funny animals going around. Stories.
Yeah. There have been lots of funny animal stories going around. You remember we talked about the cocaine bear, but have you heard about that?
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, that actually was a true story. I don't know about the cocaine bear, but from the Lexington police officer where I was living and working. I watched that movie the other night. It was not as funny. Cocaine Bear. It was not as funny.
How'd you watch it? It's in the theater.
No, I have my connections. So,
well, you got to hook a brother up.
I'm checking in right now, but I'm watching. So, who is this Facebook user? Tell me your name, please.
I don't know.
Is this Sherry?
Who's Sherry?
Did you come back?
Oh, what button did I push? Hey, I'm still here. I gotta fix it.
So she says, I'm checking in right now, but I'm watching. Sherry, is that you? Let me know. And he's like, oh, wow. What does BRNSA stand for?
Bring another stalker again? I don't know. How you got me? I don't know.
Now it says NREBDAA. Brenda. Oh, it's Brenda.
Are you sure she can type? I'm not sure about this.
I thought it was like some kind of Morse code or a code. What do you call those code things? Your secret admirer, Grizzly, Andy says.
Hey, it's about time you get one.
Nurses is bugging me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. I was hoping Sherry would come on too with Brenda. Those are my favorites. But yeah. So what about these animals that I'm hearing about? This is like pretty wild now.
Oh, we're ready for it now. Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I am.
Well, you went straight from telling your life story to boom. You're not going to hear anything about Sportcat. We're going right into the show. So that's okay. No. You've hurt my little feelings now. So.
Oh man. I feel really bad now.
I mean, this week has been kind of crap, but it is what it is. Still getting over this upper respiratory whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. So.
Brenda says you got some goodies coming. I have no idea.
Oh, I was hoping you were talking about me.
She asked for an address, so I provided. He is a poor baby. Yeah, I am a poor baby. Absolutely.
Whatever. You're the richest poor man I know.
What's Brenda? It's who's Brenda? No, not you. LOL. Brenda says. But yeah. But anyway,
I guess I'm the one she's LOLing. So
yeah, she's laughing at it.
Well, that's fine. But no, it was kind of a crap week, but I am getting ready for the NCAA basketball playoffs, and I know you're not interested, but I was watching.
I don't even know who's playing.
Well, you can take your pick. There's a lot of them. So, and then you have the women's. So I was looking at that, and I'm kind of concerned because I'm following my team. Of course, is Tennessee, and I haven't seen Bobby Dizzle in there. So, on
a team.
Well, no, Bobby's too short. He's too short.
Oh, I thought you said Bobby Dizzle on the women's team. That's It's
Well,
like,
now that's quite possible. So,
oh my Lord.
so
I'm sorry, Baba Dizzle.
his team gets to play an unranked unknown team, which I think is so. Yeah, I'm kind of a little irritated about that because everything's slanted towards the SEC in Alabama, and then we got in and we're playing a pretty good game, and hopefully we'll get Tennessee will get there, but it's going to be iffy, going to be a little dicey. But yeah, they start they start tomorrow, so it starts tomorrow. So, yeah, there's going to be basketball on now through the 1st of April. So March Madness has begun. Oh, that's right. We're playing Louisiana. So
are they any good, or are they so
who, Louisiana?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, overall, they're 26-7, whereas we're 23-10. Tennessee, I'm talking about. So,
oh, okay.
But Alabama's 29-5, so that's kind of concerning. Let's see. You got a Kentucky team in there, Northern Kentucky. Kennesaw State made it in from Alabama, and let's see, Penn State for my Yankee friends, St. Mary's, and for out west we got Northwestern, Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon made it in as kind of a sleeper, and I was really surprised Vanderbilt didn't. The women's side, I don't know. That's going to be tough. South Carolina has not lost a game in a season and a half. It's actually a little over a season and a half, so they're going to be tough to beat. So, but of course they get the cakewalk Norfolk State. I'm really not sure who they are. So, but
speaking of Norfolk, did you hear about Palestine?
Pilots dying?
Yeah, Palestine in Ohio about the train
I thought you said
Norfolk.
pilots dying.
No, I guess it's my accent.
Yeah,
I call it Palestine, but it's Palestine or whatever.
That Kentucky came out right there.
Yeah. So now the Ohio State is suing Norfolk, and I'm like, all right. So they're just coming across with $20-something million, and it's like,
not enough.
That should have happened like the day after it happened or the day of, right? The government should have stepped in and been like, hey, clean this shit and they didn't.
Yeah, it doesn't exactly work that way with emergency management, but yeah, you're right.
Now they want them to maintain this and continue to maintain the cleanup for years to come, because it's something, ladies and gentlemen. Gas stations, for example.
It's a big deal, yeah.
Gas stations. When you pull that nozzle out and you fill up your tank full of, which is not really fossil fuel, which is another story. That's what they want you to believe in, but it's not fossil fuel.
You've got some conspiracy theory going on there. Holy cow.
So when you're pumping that fuel into your car and you pull it out and you go ding, 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 you know how people tap it to make sure, and you pull it out and it drips on the ground. So that actually leaches. So when it rains, so it leaches and it runs off and it goes into the soil. And when that gas station is moved or goes out of business, mineral juice. There we go, Norma. That's the way to put it.
Mineral juice.
That's actually what it really is. And we'll go into another show. But that soil is contaminated, right? So, and Michelle said, Andy, I didn't say a bad word, did I? Gross, Andy. Oh, I get it. So, but what happens is that's why you see gas stations that are vacant and not able to be sold. Who needs a diaper? No comment. I won't go there. Michelle says, or Michael says, haha, I think it's Sportcat in the bathroom. That's Brenda. So that's funny. But that's why you see vacant gas stations. They're not sellable because the EPA has to come in and test the ground. Now you have to remove that soil, remove the gas tanks and all that stuff and backfill it. And that's very expensive. Michael was like, haha. Grizzly called me Michelle. Yes, I know, Michael. I'm sorry.
Wow.
You know, Michael, that's my middle name. Grizzly,
Michelle?
Mikhail, Michael. But yeah.
Oh, you should have
Brenda's
never
laughing.
told me that. You should have never told me that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we're reading these comments out loud is for our audio broadcast too, because they don't get to see this. So we're just reading them out loud. So now, if you're too graphic, I'll make something up to fill in the blanks to help you out. But anyway, Michael said ROFL exclamation, and he still loves me. Thank you. Much love. I love it. So Tiffany Jackson just responded.
Oh, Lord.
Look good, daughter watching. Look good, daughter watching. Looking good, daughter watching. She's talking in Navajo.
I don't know what the hell she's talking about.
So yeah.
Excuse me.
So what is this deal with this cat and cocaine that I keep hearing about in Cincinnati? They messed the whole thing up right off the bat. Thanks, Brenda.
Well, yeah, me and Brenda are gonna have to have a little chit chat. So, no, we were talking about the Cocaine Bear, and you said you illegally watched it somewhere. But I was saying that they had a cocaine.
Brenda is laughing.
Well, good. There was a bear, but that was many years ago. Now there's a cocaine cat, and this is outside of Cincinnati. And it was this wild cat that apparently an officer went on.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on, Sportcat. I want to make sure for our audience, this is not a movie trailer he's talking about. This is a real life story. No. This is not a movie. This is a real life story. So
it's real life. It's real life. Are you done? Can I actually talk? I mean, you're just not letting me in at all. You don't like me anymore, do you? You're getting a big head.
Here, I'll mute myself. There we go.
Oh, don't do that. You'll hurt my feelings. So, yeah, this big cat, apparently a police officer, that's what you should look for. You should actually look for the Hamilton County traffic stop. See if they release body cam of this wild cat. Apparently he did a traffic stop and this guy just had a wild cat. Now I'm going to butcher the name. I should have probably giggled this or something. Emery cat. It's some kind of wild cat from the Sahara Desert. So he's on his traffic stop and the cat just jumps right out. And so, and they had to chase it around. Anyhow, they ended up shooting it. They didn't kill it. They just sedated it. And, then they took it into custody, but they had to send it through some drug rehab because it did test positive for cocaine. And they're like, well, we don't know how it got cocaine. I'm wondering if that's what they shot it up with. But hey, but yeah, they believe that the cat may have ingested some Xanax and cocaine while it was on the loose. So,
yes, the bear was a different event. That is correct.
But, this is apparently a trend, and I'm sure it's got to do with our Chinese friends in the TikTok things where everybody has exotic pets. So I don't want to, I am the sport cat, but I don't want to go running around with a wild cat, But I can't imagine the officer, he comes up, he sees this cat and this guy speeding. He's like, excuse me, sir, you have a large cat. So, and the cat jumps out. I want to see that body cam if they release it. So,
do you know what that reminds me of? And let's see if anybody in the audience remembers this. The guy goes to the bathroom, comes out in the bathroom. There's a tiger in the bathroom. Why not? That sounds like a good time. Yeah.
That was the Hangover, I believe.
That is correct. That was the Hangover. Hey, I tell my uncle's bobcat all the time. Yes. Brenda actually sent me pictures. Was it Brenda or
Whoa?
Wayne?
I don't even get pictures. You got psychics and pictures. I get bad stalkers. What the F?
No, it is Brenda with her uncle's got a wild bobcat that just comes around and hangs around the house. Yes. His house. Me. Yes, you. And
that's who.
Yeah, Brenda. And she's got pictures of it laying on the table, laying on the sofa.
Well, have you got pictures?
It's beautiful. She does.
Brenda.
Yeah.
You gotta show us the things.
So yeah, it's pretty amazing. I was like, wow.
That's pretty cool. So apparently on the traffic stop. So if anybody sees that body cam, please, let us know. I want to see it.
Yeah, that's got to be hilarious. Can you imagine is Grizzly's getting forgetful? Sounds like, yeah, I am, man. I'm only 48, Andy, man.
It's
and
not just the drugs.
Don't like the drugs, but the drugs like me.
Yeah, and there's been a rash of alligators. Some guy was doing a home inspection in South Carolina. A home inspection. The house had been sold, and so he was in there inspecting it for, I don't know, termites and water damage, whatever. And so he goes up in the attic, and he's in the attic, and he sees this alligator, and he's like, "Oh, that's funny. They must not have wanted to." In the attic. And they didn't. I guess they didn't want to take their pet alligator with them, and so he was like, "Well, I'm just going to be up here. It's a stuffed one." And then all of a sudden, it breathed and took a yawn, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm out." And so I couldn't do it. So yeah, they suspect that I think it was South Carolina. I saw this one and said they suspected that some people were working on the house while it was vacant, and that it decided to just come in and make itself at home, and it went to the warmest place in the house, and it climbed up in the attic since the attic access door was open. So I'm always telling my daughter, in Tennessee we've got all the wild animals. There's a snake there that's probably I don't know, he's good and close to 8 feet, and so he likes to come and lay up on the bricks. He'll lay on the front of the house. He'll lay on the back of the house. I told Tiffany, I said, "You leave that door open long enough, Skippy's going to come cuddle up with you."
It will.
And she's got a bad habit of leaving that door open, so I keep waiting for her to call me. "There's a snake in here." And I'm going to be like, "Well, pick it up. You, it's all on you, not me. I'm out." So I may go up there this week.
Deacon says, "Sportcat, I want to hear more about these stalkers. They sound really interesting."
Oh, she's a good stalker. She's a good stalker.
So
I love Deacon. So
well, another thing that I read about that you sent me that we were going to talk about is an owl that escaped from the Central Park Zoo is still on the loose, ladies and gentlemen, and hunting on its own. Animals. An owl that escaped from the Central Park Zoo is still loose and hunting. That's not necessarily a cause for a concern, it says, but Anderson advises caution. If you do happen to encounter an exotic or an agitated animal, keep your distance as much as possible.
And you know what else to do?
Contact the local animal control.
Oh, there it was. Oh, snap. Oh, no.
That reminds me of that picture, that guy, that redneck drinking, and he's swimming with the dolphins. He's actually riding an alligator. He's drunk. Have you seen that on Facebook?
No. But they say dolphins are erotic animals, but I'm just going to leave it at that.
Oh my God.
Maybe we should have that for another show. Maybe we'll have that later in June. So when you're going to allow me more freedom. So
well, Tiffany says, yeah, I have a jack. I do not want to know what that means. Deacon says it has a lot of rats to hunt. Yeah, that's true. But a narco cat and an owl on the hunt. I mean, what is going on?
You didn't explain about the narco cat. So the narco cat's kind of cool. It's a cat with prison tats. So
what?
Yeah. You should have read that article. That was actually a good, funny article. So apparently down in Mexico City, I need to cue that up. In the prison, they did like a massive raid of the prison, and when they went in with the military, and they were like a shootout, and like hundreds of people died. But I don't know if it's hundreds. I might be exaggerating a bit there. But at any rate, they discovered everything from obvious things like the sex toys, the drug paraphernalia, a mechanical bull, several large screen TVs, all kinds of illegal electronics devices. But they found one of those hairless cats. And on the cat, it apparently was a fairly young cat. It's a prison cat, and they had tattooed it with gang signs. So it was a prison cat that had prison tats with gang signs. And so they were like, well, this is in Mexico. They're like, well, what are we going to do with this? So luckily, one of our ASPC people came in and took the cat, and they said, well, you've got to bring it to the country and get it legal. But so now there's a narco cat. It's one of the little hairless ones. Yeah, I don't know how they snuck a mechanical bull in. I mean, come on, man.
So the article goes, and this is really not funny, ladies and gentlemen. The article goes, the cat was found inside a cell bearing the markings of Los Mexico's Sinaloa cartel allied gang with over 10,000 members that has become one of the most violent. And I thought it was Chihuahua at first. It's Chihuahua. Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
Believed about 3 years old, the cat was in actually good health, except for a slight infection in its eyes and ears, said Diego Pogo, who leads a municipal agency that oversees animal rescues and adoptions. It also had 2 tattoos. The tattoos did cause harm and stress to the animal, and therefore are considered mistreatment. And even if the animal is physically well, Pogo said, and adding that it could be returned to its owner's family given the signs of animal abuse.
Wait, when you say signs, is it they have to throw gang signs? Oh,
could not. Could not. Could not be. For nearly a month, the kitty, dubbed Michels, it looks like muscles, and a play between the cutie Spanish nickname for the feline and the gang's name, was kept under the rescue agency care while the Chihuahua Attorney General's office conducted an investigation. But the symbols covering its body, combined with its rather hardcore looks, quickly led to a social media frenzy and adoption inquiries. It's like everybody went and stood in line. Like,
I gotta be honest. I would have been like, yeah, I'll adopt that cat.
Yeah, Norma, that
prison cat with prison tats.
So Norma, in the state of Kentucky, they will serve jail time for that.
What, for tattooing a cat?
Oh, yeah. And you are not allowed with baby ducklings or baby chickenlings for Easter. You're not allowed to dye them either.
Well, now that's a funny story. I Googled all the animals you can legally own, and some place had a list of them state by state. And I think your state was one of them that had like, you could have like kangaroos and orangutans. And I was like, what?
The Ohio State passed a law about owning exotic animals in the wake of 2011 incident where a man released dozens of exotic animals he owned before dying by suicide. However, zebras are not covered under the law.
Oh, no. That's the other story there. A man had his arm ripped off by his pet zebra. That was in Indianapolis, wasn't it?
Yeah,
what was that? Yeah, so yeah, he had his arm ripped off. I don't even have a sound effect for a zebra on the loose.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happened to Florida and the anaconda problems. Now we used to see the swamp people hunt gators. Well, during the off season down in Florida, they will actually pay you to hunt these snakes, but you have to bring them in alive. And they pay you by the foot and they pay you by the pound. And they're making good money. And they actually started a series on that of the swamp people catching these snakes. And it's funny. Because, I mean, they do bite, but it's not poisonous. But, man, do they get some big ones. So, yeah. So, speaking of animals, I have to tell you, I have been getting a lot of reports lately. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to try to laugh on this because this is actually a true story. It's been confirmed. I said I wasn't going to laugh. I actually reached out to some people in Michigan. They are getting reports from normal citizens, outstanding citizens in their community of Bigfoot and Sasquatches with one eye, 3 eyes, fangs, and tusk.
Whoa.
Tusk. So,
tusk I could see maybe because the teeth. Because if rabbits don't chew their whatever it is they chew, their teeth will get too long. So no, their teeth will come out and they'll look that way.
So does beavers and woodpeckers and
I don't know about your beaver, but
CGI. What, Norma? What is CGI?
Computer graphic something or another. That's one of the technical people out there. Mike would probably know. So, but yeah, I would. That's what I would think. But what do I know? So,
well, so if we're talking about, computer generated images, holograms, it's not. Yeah, correct. She says. So you're right, Sportcat.
no,
So it's not what they're seeing. They are actually seeing physical bodies of these creatures, and there's not just one report throughout the state. There are numerous. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I always say, and I say this on every show, we always have little Johnny drunk in an ape suit in the middle of the night in the field, causing havoc. But what do you do when you start getting all these different sightings of different faces and creatures? I mean, are they inbreeding? Or did they come from Ohio? From the
I was going to say, you are in Kentucky, so you never know. But come on!
Have you ever seen the banjo guy and
your Deliverance?
Biden side by side?
Well,
they look like brothers.
Very similar, yeah.
They look like brothers. Norma says she believes it. So, yeah. So, look, I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on, but there are countless sightings. So, it's going to be real interesting to see what comes out. I mean, we're talking about people that are well known in their community. So, it's not like Bob and Joe or Joe and Joe and Joe sitting on the couch drinking Old Milwaukee and just coming up with this concoction. I mean, it's weird. It's throughout the state. So, I don't know.
I don't know how we got to this. So
I have no. Well, I mean, we started on the animal thing, so that's
yeah, and then it took a turn somewhere, and so yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I can't imagine a Bigfoot with fangs, but hey, maybe they saw a werewolf, because I could see where they would look alike if they saw a werewolf. So
now Dennis Carroll, I interviewed him tonight.
Yes, you did.
Did you stay for a while, or was you on and off?
I was on and off because he kind of lost me.
Well, he is a very good intel about demonology and stuff like that. And let's see here. Well, where's I going with it? See, damn it, Andy, I lost my mind. I lost my train of thought.
Whoa, I wasn't the first one. Ha ha. So
yeah. But anyway, so I interviewed him. And he actually encountered a vampire in his days. He was like, Grizzly, they are real. And this guy is a church-going person. He blesses houses, blesses lands. He does what I do. I'm trying to follow in his footsteps. He's got 50 years. Oh, yeah. He's got 50 years experiences. I mean, he's got books out. He's got all kinds of stuff out. He's been on TV. Very well known guy. You can Google him on Amazon, and very interesting. But vampires, so yeah. So unbelievable. Deacon who? Oh my God, Norma. Yes, it is. His name was. I didn't know if I was supposed to dance. His name was Dennis Carroll, DennisCarroll, Dennis Carroll. So, and ladies and gentlemen, by the way, we got a fix to our Sportcat channel. Unfortunately, it's not fixed tonight, but we figured out. That will be next week.
Throw a flag on you. I'm throwing a flag on you.
You sure did. My Lord.
Yeah, I'm throwing a flag on you because that should have been fixed this week. So. No.
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're getting another one. Excessive celebration. So.
Oh my gosh. I'll just sip on my sweet tea from Northern Kentucky.
From North, that could be some moonshine. So.
Oh, hey, I know where to get that. And this stuff that I get, you can drink it, and you can wake up the next day and go to work, not even have a headache.
And see, that's the same thing everybody says. And let me tell you, as a connoisseur, as a connoisseur that has sipped it fresh from the source, yeah, you'll get a headache.
No,
I don't believe. Then you didn't drink enough. So you took a sip. You took a little girly sip or something. There's no way.
Nope.
Well, then when you bring
when I gave my dad some, he was like, "Damn, son, where'd you get that? That's some good beef." Deacon, maybe it's something had to do with CERN or possibly something that Sasquatch has eaten over time containing chemicals. At this point, I have no idea.
That's an idea. See, our audience is thinking outside of the box. So,
yeah. So, and Andy says Grizzly for the words, Long Island with iced tea. No, now I got a story for that. So I was 21 years old, and
God, that was a lifetime ago.
Yeah, me and this girl was at a bowling alley. I'll never forget it. And she's like, "What would you like to drink?" And I love Long Island iced teas because those were the things back then. And she goes, "Well, I don't know how to make that." I'm like, "I do." So I was like, "Get a glass, I'll teach you." So she got a glass bigger than this. I was like, "Holy cow! I hate to see how much this drink's gonna cost me." But she made it. She just doubled everything, filled the glass. So I had like 4 or 5 of those, man. And I mean, I felt like Superman, right? I was dancing to the music. We had the neon lights glowing, our outfits were glowing and stuff. And
oh my God, you're describing disco.
Yeah, Andy says he's forgot. And so we went to leave and got behind the wheel of the car. Fine, perfectly fine. I got on to, I'm not going to say what road. And holy cow. I'm like, everything is spinning upside down. The lights are blinding. And I pulled right over the shoulder and I told the girl, like, I cannot drive. She's like, well, I cannot drive either. We didn't have Uber, YouTube, and all that other stuff back then.
Uber? What is that?
Or Uber. So, make a long story short, we did what we're not supposed to do. She drove, right? So, instead of taking me home, she took me to my grandmother's house. I'm in the car trying to get out.
By drinking the urine of a ram.
No, Andy, I did not forget what road. I remember the road.
Ram's piss. Fuck, you can drink almost anything.
So I get out of the car and I walk up the porch. I miss the porch and I fall. And I get back up, walk on the porch.
Knocks on the door. Hey, Grandma!
So I fell and I go head first into her bushes and shrubs. And the girl's standing at the door. My grandmother opens it up, and my grandmother is hollering and screaming at me, "What are you doing in my bushes? You're tearing up my bushes." I didn't say the F word. No, Michael. Yeah, I didn't say the F word.
Oh, what you said? I didn't hear a thing.
So, but, I was tearing up her bushes, and so I got out of the bushes, and every time I went to the porch, because it was a step-up porch, I never make it. And they were so mad at me, both of them, they just let me lay on the porch and sleep it off. And the next morning,
on the porch a time or two.
The next morning was school morning, and we lived on the busy street.
Wait, hold on. You said it was a school morning, and you were 21. How many years did you go to 7th grade?
Morning. For the kids to go on the bus.
I was going to say how many years you were in 7th grade. Okay,
this was in a big city, but yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't know. Maybe you were in 7th grade a year or two extra.
No. So my point is, ladies and gentlemen, law enforcement experience, being dumb and young, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, don't drink and drive. Make a phone call a friend. Uber, whatever they have on your phones now. Use it, please.
Well, just dial 911. They'll come.
Actually, somebody did that because they had no food. They wanted to ride to Wendy's. Did you read that 5 years ago?
That's a common thing. They'll call 911 for anything. So
yeah, I want some food. Yeah. So,
bring me some Crystal Burgers.
Norma says, "What do grandmas always care more about, the flowers and the bushes?" Yeah, isn't that the truth? I was so damn mad that night. because
You were mad.
never.
You were mad. You were the one that was tore up and peeing in the bushes.
No. Look, I'm 48 years old. Okay, 48.
And don't you tell me you ain't never peed in the bushes. I don't want to hear it.
And I'm getting ready to turn 49 in June.
Oh,
and I've probably been 3 times that way in my whole eternal life. 3 times. So yes. And I have learned my lesson. I don't know how people pray to the porcelain gods every weekend. You know, hey, Kristen, folks come to the ER daily for food, bath, and diaper changes. Yeah. Right? Michael says, ask Andy about the flower beds. Oh, Andy. So do we have some dirt on you now? So what about the flower beds, Andy? I got to hear this one.
I could actually, we can send Michael the link and bring him on live. He's high tech.
Yeah, Michael, do you want to, Michael, you want to come live? If you do,
the link.
Here is my Facebook account. Just PM me, and I will personally send you the link.
Oh, this
there it is. It's called Grizzly Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, if you send me a friend request, let me know who you are. I don't have room, so I have another.
He denied me. He didn't want me to be his friend.
Michael is coming on the show. He said sure.
Believe it. I don't believe it.
Like and he says it was dirt and it was more like mulch. Yeah. Andy, we're getting ready to find the truth. Nothing but the truth, so help you.
If we find out.
But if you do, ladies and gentlemen, send me a friend request. I will send you another link to my, what's it called? Your follow page?
My follow page.
Yeah, where people can follow you on Facebook.
Oh, you mean the group Grizzly and Sportcat Live? That one?
No, my personal follow page.
I don't know. You have like 12 pages, 16 groups, 5 phone numbers, and I don't even know what else. So no, I don't know. How can I keep up with your stuff? I've got 2, and one of them I can't talk about for legal reasons. So.
That is correct. That is correct. So, and
if anybody's got a green cross and wants to pray for me, just let me know. So I know a guy.
Oh, Lord. I can't believe you brought that up. So the reason why I had to do this group is what's the profile picture look like?
It's a big, ugly, bald guy.
Me?
No, this isn't it your...
It's Grizzly Chris. It's there it is right there. That's what my profile picture looks like. Grizzly Chris. Just type in Grizzly Chris and I'll come right up. So
I hope we haven't bored the podcast audios. We've done nothing but just BS. So.
No. But I'm trying to explain to the ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I did this, I keep going over 5,000 people. Michael just sent me the information. I keep going over the 5,000 friends on your list, and I had to pick and choose each time who was going to come on or who I was going to keep and who I was going to delete. And that's like really awkward.
He blocked me.
Who to pick and who to stay. Should I stay or should I go? And I didn't like that. So I had to make up a page so I didn't lose anybody. And I got tired of kicking people off my Facebook group. Friends list. All right, Michael, the link has been sent.
I don't have that. I only have people who want to remain anonymous and just mess with my life. So,
oh Lord. Michael says he's got it. Andy's like, Mike, isn't that your profile pic? Something. It involved me, an ambulance, and a stretcher. Andy says, the flower bed. So now Andy's starting to come clean, ladies and gentlemen, because the truth is about to come out.
And he was peeing in the bushes or something. But
all right, here comes 9701. We're going to bring him on live. Welcome. Here
this should be interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Welcome to the show, sir. How you doing?
Hey there. Welcome. Hello there. So tell us this dirt. You tell.
Okay, so can you guys hear me? Am I making it through?
Yeah, you're overmodulating a little bit, but yeah.
All right, how's this? This is okay?
Yeah.
You're real hot, but yeah.
Yeah, you got a hot mic. You got a hot mic.
Hang on a second. Let me see if I can turn mine down a little bit.
Andy's starting to freak out. And he's like, yeah, he does have a hot mic.
And whoa, it's kind of personal there. So
Norma says that, Andy, I'm a psychic. I know about the flower bed. So
yeah, Mike, in the top right of your screen there, you can click on comments, and you can see them live as they come up through Facebook and YouTube when you're in here.
Yes, that is correct. Good call out.
It keeps me from having to look at 12 different screens because I got lost that first night. I didn't know that.
All right, so how do I adjust the audio again? Is it on my regular computer, or do you have something inside of the
StreamYard? Not that I know of.
Yeah, I think it's on your regular.
There is a setting with the mic, but I don't know if it has sensitivity in it. So.
Okay, wait a minute. Here we go.
Well, that kind of killed the whole audio.
All right, is this a little better?
Oh yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Instead of cam, so gotcha, gentlemen. Thank you. What an honor! I really appreciate this.
Hey,
absolutely, man.
So
absolutely,
it's not really dirt on Andy. I mean, he fell in the dirt, but Andy was going to an appointment, and our local private ambulance company, came over and picked him up. Put him on the stretcher because he has to. I won't tell his medical stuff, but he has to stay sitting up. Can't stand up. Can't be in his wheelchair for too long. So for the long trips, they take him in a regular ambulance so he can lay down flat. And so they took him out of the house. They're taking him out the stretcher. The young people and real skinny, by the way, and whoop. They flipped him right out of this thing, right into his mom and dad's flower beds, his mom's flower bed, and then down into a ditch. Oh my God, it's terrible! It was terrible. I heard all about it, and it's so funny because his nephews came over later on, and they heard the whole story. They didn't care about him. They got upset because he fell in Nanny's flowers.
And that's what somebody was just saying. Yeah, everybody worries more about the flower beds. The grandma's
That's what it was. And he's down there, around, looking like Cocaine Bear floating around through there. So,
that's funny.
So I'm sure he's going to be hollering at me a little while. You know these little radios there, Glenn. So I'm sure we're going to be hearing some. I've had some comments from him for giving up the. So there's the dirt of him falling in the dirt.
Yeah, Mike, you're gonna hear something already.
Hear that?
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, that's great. Well, Andy can come on here too, so it's great. We're kind of changing some of the things around. We're going to make an open forum some too because
we
got so many great followers. So
this is awesome. This is awesome. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm so happy. I took a quick selfie so I can send it to my wife. So look, I'm actually on Grizz's and Glenn's and Sportcat's podcast or YouTube podcast. So there you go. So
man, we are worldwide. We are in like UK, London, Spain, Italy, Rome.
Kind of a big
Britain.
deal.
Yeah, I mean we are. I mean this is like the problem we're having is, and I got a call from StreamYard this morning, which was funny because they've been working on our. I'm behind on comments. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Deacon, oh my goodness. Andy says, and I injured my shoulder in the process. Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, we tell you to walk it off, but
I didn't think he got. He was sore, but I don't think he was that bad. So
roll it off, Andy. Roll it off. You'll be all right, brother.
He said it was coming home.
I'll be blocked before the night's over.
Not going to an appointment, and also the driveway does have a hill. Now, Andy, let me tell you something. I swear that night that when I was drunk, I swear I was walking up a hill too. So I feel for you, okay?
In the rain.
Yeah. Andy says, watch it, Glenn.
Right.
I still love you, Andy. Hey, one of the groups got the coin yet. Well, you and one other lucky fan there, Deacon's got the coin, so 9701 may have earned his tonight. So
woohoo! All right.
I think so. I agree with you. Yeah.
We might get him number 97. I think I do got a 97, so I'll have to look.
That'd be cool.
That's excellent. Excellent.
Cool. You were first live, and you're number 97. So there you go.
What else can you ask for, right?
I got a list, but
Right. I've made a few lists.
yeah, I think you made one tonight.
Yes, I think.
Does Andy have weapons? Uh-oh.
No, he'll throw a laptop at me or something like that. He'll get me there.
All right. Well, thank you, 9701.
I appreciate it.
All right.
We'll see
Thank
you
so
soon.
much.
All right.
Radio on when I get done.
Man, that was funny. See,
I'm
the
big.
truth always
I'm really
come
big.
out.
I'm really big. Whoa,
The
look at
truth
that.
always
Computer
comes
adds
out.
10 pounds. More like 50.
So, yeah. It always comes out when somebody comes out.
I've never actually dropped anyone while I was transporting them, but I had some.
I've seen it happen.
I have too. I've been on calls, but I have had. I had two brand new firefighters. We had a patient that they thought was going to meet Jesus, which means that they thought they were sick, and I wasn't that stressed about it. And so they go to rip them out of the ambulance, and they forgot to unhook the O2 cannula. That one was funny.
Oh.
Yeah, that actually I did do that. It just come back to me. I did that. I had a guy who took some stuff. I don't know. He wanted to die. He wanted to go meet Jesus, and I'm pulling him out, and I forgot I put him on O2 because he complained the whole time there. And when we yank him out, and he's like, ah! Got his nose is like 5 times too big, and I remember he was complaining to me. I looked at him and said, "Shut up! He want to die anyhow."
Gosh, you know what? I was fortunate because I didn't have to deal with that. We just stood by and watched you all work. So
That's all a paramedic does. What are you talking about?
Now don't get me wrong. We did try to help stand them up and get them on the gurney with you and stuff like that. But, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be surprised how many calls that the firefighters, paramedics, and EMS and ambulance gets for falling victims that are very large and they're not able to get up, and they have to have 4 or 5 people to help. So it's especially in large cities.
Oh yeah.
So
the 3 priority questions when you get on scene. Why did you call me? Why do you need an ambulance? Can you walk to the stretcher? That's the first 3 questions out the gate.
Wow. Michael says the EMT does all the work.
If you got a good EMT, that is very true. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I never stood in the way of an EMT.
Emmett, good Lord, you got some issues.
EMT. Now, in Kentucky, now this is what's really weird. In Kentucky, the volunteers can run code 3 once they do the driving test. They can have the red and whites, ambers, whatever.
Do they have blues? I heard some people on the radio a while back complain about firefighters with blue lights.
Blue lights are in Indiana, but they have
no
firefighters.
Sirens.
Yes, firefighters.
Really? Why would you have lights but no sirens? That's stupid.
Now listen to this. Now this is what really screwed me up being on the department when I first learned this. So I would be driving right down Highway 135, and I would see somebody with a bunch of blue lights on, and I'm like, why are they sitting at the red light? Well, I didn't know that they had to obey all traffic signals and devices and all traffic laws. They could not pass you. They could not flash their lights, honk the horn. No. And I'm like, well, why the hell do you have the lights for? Well, because some people would be like, oh, they're going to an emergency, and I'll get out of their way. And I've actually seen people stick their arm out the window and give them the bird and just slow down. And I'm like, oh, man, I pull them over. And they're like,
I get that all the time in the ambulance.
And I'm like, well, first off, the speed limit is 55. Okay. So we were doing 30. So the problem I have with that is you are impeding traffic, which is a citable offense and a citation. So I see your driver's license and registration.
Oh, you were one of those officers.
Yeah. If you were a volunteer and you had blue
volunteer, I wouldn't have blue lights.
And you're driving and you got a guy in a 55 mile an hour zone,
doing 35
down to 30,
and
flip you off during the whole way. He didn't know I was behind the firefighter.
Yeah.
So we had like 6 cars behind me. That's impeding traffic.
That's true. I'm not arguing. I just, you're one of those cops, but that's okay.
So Michael says, ha. And Michael also says PA is the same way. It's asking for permission.
It is. And well, I guess in Tennessee we were a little bit more wild west. So because Code 3 was half the fun of getting there. I mean,
oh man,
when I came down to Georgia, they had to send me back through driving school because I took my preceptor out on day one, and I knew where we were going on that first call. And Memorial Drive is 4 lanes on each side, and in Atlanta traffic, it's always backed up. Yeah, I jumped over the median, went into the head-on lane. I'm doing about 60, weaving in and out of the traffic, cutting back across, jumping curbs. And they're like, okay, you're not driving for a while. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's what we do up in Tennessee.
Yeah, Michael says MD, MVA 21-801 minimum speed regulation. Yeah. So, yeah, they are.
Yeah, see there, he'd write you up for it too. Cops.
But you know what? That's always been a pet peeve. You know, now if I was a regular civilian and I see somebody behind me that cannot break any traffic laws, man, that could be my family member they're going to. Yes, Andy, Mike, that sounds like you. He's laughing. LOL. But,
Yeah,
get some respect, ladies and gentlemen, man. I mean, what happens if that was your wife or your child? Now in Kentucky,
what happened to the legislators that wrote the law that way?
Now in Kentucky, they will run your ass over. They will drive the way. They will go in the wrong lane of traffic.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
And they will flip you off and wail on that siren as they're going around you. So
that's right.
So
I remember the first time I got pulled over in Tennessee. I was coming back from work. I'd been up all night, and I am just zipping on down the road, and I flew right by the state trooper, and I'm like, oh, man. So he pulls me over, and of course, I had firefighter plates, being a volunteer firefighter. And he asked me, first thing he asked me is, where's the fire? And I'm like, what? He's like, where's the fire? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, why are you going so fast? I'm like, oh. It's Tuesday. So,
you know, ladies and gentlemen, I learned a long time ago when enforcing traffic, you don't mess with firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, or doctors or nurses, especially IRS people. Okay. Ask Mike about him driving the fire chief on a call, lights and siren. Oh my gosh. I got a story on that. We'll make that for another show. And here's the reason why is because I know that some paramedics and some EMS people, if you're like really nasty to them, ladies and gentlemen, they are different sizes of gauges of needles. Okay. So the rule of thumb is the bigger the number, the smaller the needle. The smaller the number, the bigger the needle. That's what they call a gauge. Am I correct, Mr. Sportcat?
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
So I don't know what's the regular number to use, but whatever it is, and you're being a nasty bunghole to them, they will get the biggest needle they can and jab the hell out of you. And no, I'm doing good. Michael says he was doing about 20 miles an hour over the speed limit, but to him, I was going too slow. Okay, Michael, here it goes. He says 18. So when I went to county from city, my lieutenant, I don't know why, was riding with me. I was like, this is great. So we got a domestic call, and it was on the other end of the county. I ain't going to mention his name because he's retired, and I love him to death. You know, he was one of the ones where you either loved or hate him. To make a long story short, I'm driving, and we're on this country road, right? 18 gauge. Okay, thank you, Michael. 18 gauge. And as I was going on these curves, it was like, whoop, whoop, whoop. You know how your tires bark, right?
Yeah.
So we hit a straightaway, and I hit my spotlight because we're out in the country. I want to see down the road for any critters to come across, especially
spotlighting for deer. Yep.
My lieutenant turned around and said, can you go any faster? And I was like, damn, am I going that fast? So I looked down, and I was doing 48, and I looked up, it was a 45 mile an hour zone. And then when I turned the spotlight on, Andy, it's coming, but I'm going to beat myself. He says, really? Grizzly, are you looking for effing raccoons? I laughed so hard, I ended up missing the curve, went into the cornfield. We're running into corn stalks.
Oh
He
my
was
god!
laughing so hard. And I'm like, I'm not stopping. I'm like, we got to hit the road sooner or later, right? So we end up hitting
cue
the
up
road.
the Dukes of Hazzard, just the
No.
good old boys.
So, well, actually, one of them lived in Corden. So,
Oh my god!
but yeah, so that haunted me for years on counting, and that really did. I mean, it was
Did
just
they call you
terrible.
Corn Cob? Was that your nickname? Is that?
No, but it was terrible. I mean, when we got
that's
there,
funny.
the lady was like, "What took y'all so long?" And my lieutenant was like, "You do not want to know." And I was like, "Please don't say anything." And
of course,
I was hoping it was going to stay between us.
your secret safe with the department.
No, hell no, it wasn't. I got made fun of for 3 or 4 months, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's
this-
that's the one nice thing about being in public safety is they don't let things go.
Yeah, Michael says this could be in a movie like RV.
Yeah.
Oh, blue. Oh, guess what? Our guest is in the house.
Hey,
Jason.
well, tell
Let's
us a little bit
bring
about
him on.
Jason here. Are we
Well,
going
I'm
to
gonna
Jason
let-
tell?
I'm going to let Jason do that because Jason is very unique. And Jason is a very good dear friend of mine. He's very special. And now, look, if you think
I'm trying to be good. I'm not funny at all.
If you think we're funny, wait till he gets on. I mean, it's
Oh,
natural.
Lord.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Jason to the show. Jason, how you doing, sir?
Jason is in the house.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So
Very
tell
good.
everybody about yourself.
Tell everyone about me?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to bore the hell out of everyone.
No,
Well,
you're
so far
fine.
we've had to listen to Grizzly, so you couldn't be much worse, I promise you. Exactly. I'm over here trying to find the hang myself emoji, so.
Yeah, it's over to the right next to the Bigfoot group.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm a animal expert, photojournalist. I've been doing this kind of work for about 20, 25 years. I've traveled the world, basically just people with exotic animals, from tigers and bears and alligators and kangaroos, monkeys, everything in between. They would hire me and I would go and I would take photos and I would interview the people. And I had a web series. I still do. It's called My Animal Adventures. And yeah, basically it just talks about the love that people have for their exotic animals. And I've been doing this for a very long time. I love it. There's no cages involved. That's the rule if I'm going to take photos of your animals. So, you know, you take that hamster out of that cage.
You gotta have the macro lens for the hamster, though.
Now, have you done anything like the bear on cocaine stuff yet?
No. You know what?
I'm not thinking you want to get a bear jacked up.
Cocaine, marijuana, everything.
Well, you heard about the exotic cat in Cincinnati, didn't you?
Yeah, something like that.
It was strung out on cocaine.
And sometimes it works.
You missed it just a little bit there.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
you
God.
know, I know a few people who have lost their exotic animals out here, African servals.
Now,
Pet-
where are you at?
I'm in
What part of
Vancouver, British Columbia,
Oh, okay. All right. So
not too far away from Harrison Hot Springs.
are you all allowed exotic animals up there, or how does? Because here in the States, it varies by each state as to what you can have.
Yeah, you know what? The most exotic animal you can have here is basically an African serval or a African caracal cat.
Those are cats, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are pretty much, I mean, you used to be able to own alligators, you used to be able to own monkeys. I do know someone that has monkeys still to this day.
Wow.
And they've had them for forever.
I've heard they're actually hard pets to keep. Is that true?
Oh yeah, man, the poop is flying everywhere. Like,
Yep, yeah. A friend of mine was a Vietnam soldier, and he brought one home from the war. I don't know how you bring that home from the war, but he was still pretty young when I guess he did
how
his
does
first
that
or
happen
second tour.
when you
Oh
go
no!
through customs? They're like, honestly, there is a monkey in my pants.
Exactly. Well, we didn't have Homeland back then, so.
Oh, I guess not. Yeah.
Yeah, I can. That's kind of a war souvenir. I don't know that I want, and it did get loose. I do actually have a horrifying monkey tail. This is a true story. So it wasn't my class; it was Mr. West's third grade class. I was in Miss Trexler's, and there was show and tell. So somebody brought their pet monkey. Well, the pet monkey freaked out and like started jumping around, throwing stuff, screaming. The kids are all running through the school. It climbed on Mr. West. To us, he was like 8 feet tall, and it was like scratched him and bit him and was running down the hall. Well, they had called the police department. This is a true story. I'm in third grade, Fairfax County, Virginia, and it come running at the police officer in the middle of elementary school in the hallway. He capped that monkey with his 38 right there in front of us all, God and all.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So could explain some of my earlier trauma, but yeah, he right in front of me. He didn't know what else to do, and they were like, "You killed a monkey."
What he's leaving out is the fact that the monkey was actually him.
Yeah, I was never that small.
So yeah, that's basically kind of my life right now. I'm going to be traveling into the States not too long from now, and photographing someone that has a pet bobcat. So I'm very excited.
Oh, nice.
I think they have like two of them, two bobcats.
Yeah, I know in Tennessee where I used to live, there was a cat sanctuary, and then they had added on, and I think there was different kinds of bears. I mean, obviously, black bears are native to East Tennessee, but they had all kinds of other little creatures and critters there. So I don't know if it was a zoo or a rehab, but it was legal nonetheless. But yeah, because we ran calls there I'm a paramedic, and we ran calls there for a person bit by a snake once, and we were all freaking out, going, "Oh, is it the cat? Is it the cat?"
Oh yeah.
And we actually, Jason, have Brenda in the audience. Her uncle has a wild bobcat that comes around, hangs out, sleeps on the couch, lays on the table, and visits all the time. And it's a beautiful looking cat. I mean, it just comes and goes, and they take care of it, and it's just like a regular house cat to them. And it's it's amazing. So
she's wondering why she went through 5 cats in like 2 years. Where's Mitten? Mitten! That's not this week.
Mittens 1, Mittens 2, Mittens 3.
all right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say this. I should have had it queued, but I don't know if Jason would appreciate it. But Jason went on a Bigfoot hunt not too long ago. And I'm not going to say where or who with, but this is the one I was telling you about, Sportcat, where he was relieving himself, and he got eye shine. He was like, "Oh, and it was funny as hell how it went down." Jason, take it over. I mean, it's funnier when you say it.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's been so many incidents that I've had where allegedly these creatures have come close to me, you know, and there's been a few times where I've wanted to, you know, I'm doing my Mother Nature, and something goes crunch in the forest, and you just pinch and run, right? or even worse, you're like doing number 2, and you know, I am the fastest runner with my pants down by my ankles, running back to my tent, you know. And who knows what made the crack, but yeah, there's been a few times where I've caught the eye shine, and whatever these creatures are, you know, watching us from the darkness. You know, there's been so many. There's the spider crawl with the spider crawl, that was crazy. You know, thinking maybe it was a cougar. You know, and I was with another researcher, and I turned around and it was standing probably, but I don't know. I didn't have a measuring tape at the time, so I couldn't hold still while I walk up and measure it.
Yeah.
Like 9 feet tall. But it dropped to the ground, and it just went right across the ground. And it went whoop, 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 and it was gone into the forest. And the eyes shined. The eyes just stared at me the whole time, and they didn't bob. That's the one thing I remember. It didn't bob. It was like it was on a stabilization, like on a track, and it just went right up into the forest. And at first, I had the video camera rolling, but I was talking. I was talking about what I was seeing when I turned around and saw it hit the ground. And at first, it took me back, and I almost fell down. And then I thought, okay, maybe it was a cougar, but usually cougars don't go sideways and look at you. They usually just run, and they turn their head and they book it. Well, while I'm talking in the camera again, and I walked to the area to show the other researcher where it was that it went across, could see the eye shine behind my head about 10 feet, just staring at us. And I didn't see any of this until a month later when I was looking through the footage. At that moment, I heard something crunch in the forest.
Yeah.
But I said, oh, it was a bird. And I even said that on film, not realizing that there was eye shine. And that's happened quite a few times where I'm talking on camera and a creature is watching me from behind. You could see the eye shine, looking at me. So, anyone that has a video camera, start doing some selfie shots. And, what I think is the creatures, they think you're not looking at them, right? Because they see the back of your head. And your body is blocking the sensor, right?
Yeah,
so they may not see it for a second, and then they stick their head out and they watch you. It's almost like a trick.
Yeah.
But I have the new documentary, Searching for Sasquatch 7, caught some red eyes looking at me. That was the first to actually. It was standing, and I was walking, and there it was. It was kind of following me a little bit, like it was looking at me, and then I didn't see it. I didn't see it at the time, but then I walked about 10 feet. And I moved the camera, and now it was on the ground, and the eyes were red as they streaked by, right? So, I'm not saying it was a Bigfoot, but who knows? Right?
Yeah.
The
TikTok video was funny though. The one where you were relieving yourself and trying to get people's attention. You're like, I'm gonna crap myself. Hey, everybody. So, because I was trying to tell Sportcat, I mean, it was just hilarious.
Well, you should just find that TikTok and show it. That's fine.
Yeah, I really need to. Is it still out there on your TikTok page?
It should be. Yes, it should be. You just scroll down.
I also understand that you're doing a comic book. Is that true?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm doing a comic book. Yeah, it's called Searching for Sasquatch.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah, and it's the lost treasure of the Sasquatch. It's the hidden temple and the lost treasure of the Sasquatch. And it's about a group of Bigfoot researchers that take a helicopter and they drop in. And they are on a mission to prove once and for all that the Bigfoots do exist. And there's 3 females and 3 guys. And we all have a special skill. And we kind of stumble into a portal, and on the other side is a whole other world, and there's a volcano, and there's waterfalls and beautiful landscapes, and then we're attacked by the Bigfoots, and so we jump and we go down a waterfall, and we're wondering, okay, we need to get out of here, and then we hear, then we heard of a temple, a hidden temple there was a kind of a by the mouth of fire, which was the volcano. So we headed towards there, and along the way we find a tree filled with this legendary fruit. When you eat the fruit, it gives you incredible strength, and that's how we're able to defend ourselves from these Sasquatch. And then we find the treasure, and then we have to try and get out of the forest. the Sasquatch people are angry that we're taking their treasure, the gold they use for something. I don't want to give it away.
Yeah, I don't. I want to get a copy of this from you. So
Yeah, it's gonna be full color, be action packed.
now, have you done the artwork, or have you got somebody doing the artwork?
So I've written it.
Okay.
I have an artist, an illustrator who used to do comic books, and he's doing all the illustration. And yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm so excited. Did you see the picture? I put a picture on my Facebook page of the actual. One of the little comic
cells. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's gonna be fun. I can't wait.
Now, is this going to be a continuing series, or have you already got the whole thing mapped out?
No, it's going to be a one-off comic book unless some miracle happens, and
Hey, you never know.
But this is going to be a one-off comic. It'll be full color.
And, self-publishing or?
Yeah, I'm going to self-publish it.
Okay.
And hopefully, it becomes a really good seller and people enjoy it. And, we need a new Bigfoot comic book, obviously.
We do. Now, when you said you had powers, are you talking about you had powers going into the portal, or you got the powers after you eat the fruit?
Eat this fruit, when you eat this fruit, you get this incredible strength, like superhuman strength.
Awesome.
And then that way we're able to defend ourselves from the Sasquatch.
Oh, I'm so jealous of you.
Because obviously, I know it's a fiction, it's a fantasy story, but obviously Sasquatch could just pop our heads off, and that's the end of the story. I'm like, there's gold, Sasquatch. Yeah, okay.
Well, that's like the joke in the. Are you a fan of the Walking Dead comic book series, or any of the Walking Dead stuff?
Yeah.
That's like they were like, everybody's like, oh, what's the ending? What's going to be? In the comic book world, was the ending's going to be Rick woke up. So, that's it. Rick woke up. Yeah. Sorry, Grizzly, you won't get that, but
yeah, exactly. Right? What a lazy way to end it.
Yeah. If I was the writer, if I was Kirkman, I would have probably done it just because I could. It wouldn't affect his income, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's either we do a long part that shows all this stuff, and we waste a couple $1 million, or we just stick that in my pocket.
That's it.
Go lie in that bed. Oh, guys. Wake up.
Yeah, no need to set up an elaborate ending scene. I'll be in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
Jason, at the bottom of your screen, there is a present button. I went to your TikTok account. I cannot find the video, but down at the bottom, if you click present, once you find your video, I'll approve it, and we'll play it, because I got to have everybody see this.
He made me watch it like 20 times. So
I have. Sonia, Manette, I've seen Eyeshine in all different colors.
Did you favor it?
I don't remember. I favor so much of your stuff, man. It's just,
he is not technical at all. So
yeah, I don't,
when it comes to technical, I'm like, you see the red button? Push it. What red button? The one in front of you. Oh, you mean that big red button? That red button. That's me talking Grizzly through stuff.
Krista says, congratulations on the upcoming comic book. Love the Searching for Sasquatch series. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Brenda, I guess I need to start using this one. LOL.
There we go. Now I can see who Brenda is.
Yes. Sonia sounds like my insomnia dreams. So I'm catching up on the comments, ladies and gentlemen.
Sonia's picture. See if we can reenact it.
She had to actually change her name so we keep her on the show. So.
Yeah, that is a story we'll tell you off air.
Yeah.
So I actually found my first footprint.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Right? I don't know if you can really see it.
Yeah.
But, you can see the big toe.
Yeah.
The big toe there, and the small ones here, and then it goes down.
So
around, and then you can see the break right here. There's a
metatarsal break. Yeah.
So this was found with Robert Kreider and with the whole Bigfoot group. We're in the Colorado Rockies, and we found We found
So what do you think that is? 18-inch print?
No, that print is only 13 inches long,
Okay.
but it's 5 inches across.
That's a heavy one.
Yeah. Well, I know Robert thinks it's maybe a young one.
It's kind of heavy. Whew.
We had a lot of fun.
Sonia says that's an awesome cast. Now on your footprint,
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this or not. It's been proven to me and it's been tested. Every 2 inches on a Bigfoot track is 1 foot tall, approximately, on a Bigfoot.
What? So you're saying it could be what? 13 inches?
So,
I mean, 13 feet.
So
Yeah.
every 2 inches is 1 foot approximately. So if we divide 2 into 13, so we're looking at what? Almost a 6.5,
6.5, yeah.
foot
6.5.
Bigfoot. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not really that tall. So it may have been a young one.
Yeah,
I
could have
know
been.
we caught on video. We actually caught on video the eye shine of 2 of them looking at us. And about 10 minutes before that, we caught on camera it watching us from the trees. Of course, we didn't see that one until a month later when I was at home on the computer. In fact, that's why I called it the Colorado the Night Stalkers, because it was stalking us through the forest. Because 10 minutes up the trail is when we saw them looking at us. And we actually had that on film.
Have you noticed there's different colors of the eye shine?
Well, I've only seen white,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw red, but I've only seen white in real time. I haven't seen the red in real time. So I don't know. I would like to see red. Some people say you don't want to see red because
I've heard that, yeah.
it means that they're a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've seen white, or what I thought was maybe almost silver, kind of like reflective. That was the very first one that I saw when I was real young. And then I've seen green. I guess you would call it green. It's kind of a green.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and it's now the Alabama white thing. It's and a lot of the experiences I've had or encounters, like you were saying, you go into the bathroom and well, suddenly, and that's the way it was with the Alabama white thing. It was Kristen Payton and myself in the woods, and we were with a group, and we were the last ones up, and she went to one side of the camp to go do her business. I go to the other, and I'm standing there, and I see this thing float down the stream, and it was white and kind of foggy, but we were camped right by a river, so I didn't think anything about it really. But then I noticed a form on the other side of the stream or creek. And it was staring at me, and I'm thinking, this is a really inopportune time to be staring at something that much bigger than me.
Are you sure it was a creek? Maybe there was a Bigfoot that was peeing just up the way.
It could have been. So it could have been.
The pressure would be intense.
Yeah.
The tent.
Would that be Yellow Water Rapids? I'm just kind of curious. Yeah, that would be.
We've done some really cool expeditions, and I'm going on a few more coming up. Right now, I'm working on 2 paranormal documentaries. My very first ones going after ghosts.
Okay.
And so I'm working on that now because I don't have another Bigfoot expedition for another couple months. So I thought to myself, what do I want to do? I said, okay, well, maybe I'll do my very first paranormal one. And so I've been doing that. So I've interviewed a whole bunch of different people, eyewitnesses who have seen these spirits and stuff, and caught some really cool EVPs.
You have?
Yeah. I went to
Awesome.
a haunted hospital, and I actually said, "What is your name?" Oh no, I said, "What is my name? How did he die? What is your name?" And then you get a female voice that yells back, "Jason." Yeah. That was.
Were you using the speaker box? What is it called? With the radio and a ghost box?
No, I was using an actual voice recorder.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then another time I made a joke saying, "Oh, I forgot to protect myself with the white light. Give me a second while I do that. And I'm like, oh, this is a bad time to be colorblind. White, that's orange, and then going around. But in between that, when I said, give me a second, you hear like a voice that goes, no.
Oh.
Like, no, I'm not going to protect you. And
Nice.
Another EVP that I caught was, I said, how did you die? And then all of a sudden there was this, how did I die? I was like, holy fuck, you're pissed.
Yeah. It wasn't yesterday. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
Now, kind of a technical question. You talk about being outdoors, you got outdoors cameras and different things. So when you come back and now you're doing indoor stuff and now you're really using a lot of nighttime stuff, do you see a lot of equipment change or are you basically using the same stuff?
No, I'm using the same stuff.
Okay.
What I wanted the paranormal to look completely different than the Bigfoot stuff, because Bigfoot's all outside and the interviews are inside. But I wanted, like, obviously when I started, some of the paranormal guys were like, let's go to a graveyard. And I'm like, oh, I really don't want to shoot outside because I want it to look a little different. I want it to be different than Bigfoot. I don't want people to watch the paranormal documentary and go, wow, this is just like Bigfoot, right? Because, you know, if I was to do all the paranormal stuff outside in graveyards, you know, it's they see trees and bushes and stuff, and it's just, yeah. But it's interesting. I'm still a skeptic, so it's interesting to, you know, have fun. I'll be doing this as long as I'm having fun. When I'm not having fun, you know, when I get possessed, must kill everyone. Must kill everyone.
Jason, send me that video by messenger. I want to play that for everybody. I still can't find it.
Okay.
I went through your whole videos here.
Did I take it down? Oh, I may. Why would I take it down?
That one, I wouldn't expect you to take that one.
It should be there. It should be, Grizzly. It should be there. Are you?
You had some pretty nice videos, though.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot on my TikTok and Instagram.
I think I'm going to have to check this out.
Yeah, you need to check it out, all right.
Well, I mean, you sent me that TikTok. You sent me that one, but I don't.
Oh, I'm talking about some other ones.
Yeah, there's some funny ones there too. Some interesting. It's great. I won quite a few awards for my Searching for Sasquatch documentaries.
Nice.
Is that a pair of nuts?
You wear? Oh yeah. Oh my mouth.
You've got large nuts. All right. It's the feet.
It's the big feet.
I was gonna say you didn't have them that night. I watched that video. You did not have a pair.
Whoa! I don't know.
I won 52 international film awards for.
Wow! Congratulations!
1, 2,
That's
3,
awesome.
4, and 5. And yeah, I was very surprised. One day I woke up and my phone was ding, 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 ding. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, oh. They were just sending me, you know, all these awards. And so I was very honored to be able to get recognized for that.
That's kind of cool. I mean, it's always good to be recognized by your peers. It really is. So, it's not just the peers on a lot of them; it's the fans too. So, it's always good to be recognized. So,
by the fans, I love the fans.
Well, you know, it makes it kind of because Grizzly hasn't had it yet. I've had a bad run of stalkers and stuff, but I don't know why me. But when you get the good fans that you like and you're friends with, so because I'm friends with most of the people in the chat tonight, and the stalkers I don't know that are out there, I'll probably be friends with them soon via restraining order. So, but
yeah, I just clicked on the streaming. Sonia, Brenda,
Tanya, yeah, we got a good group in there. I know Andy, he hasn't commented in a while, so hopefully he hadn't fallen out of his chair. So, but he's one of our loyal listeners, and we got Mike, and we got a whole bunch of them in there. Now, Andy is a photographer also, so I'm surprised he hasn't asked any technical questions there. So,
Andy, how are you?
yeah,
Yeah, that's really cool. So I'm waiting for Searching for Sasquatch, chapter 7 and 8 to get on Tubi TV. Chapter 7 is in the Colorado Rockies, and then chapter 8 is Enter the Ohio Grassman.
okay.
I went to Ohio and we went looking for these cryptids and it was really exciting in Ohio. We found some interesting tree structures. One of the researchers saw a Bigfoot looking at us while we were driving by. So we slammed the brakes on and we went running into the forest. And,
Nice.
I actually
I know exactly who you were with on that because I know exactly the women you're talking about. I call them ivories of steel.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was with the She Squatchers.
Yes, that's exactly who they are. I told you, Sportcat, that's what they do. They'll drive in the damn bit of a field, jump out, and run right into the damn woods. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, it's great.
Good times.
Yeah,
So,
I love those girls. They're like
awesome. They are so awesome.
With the Chad date map, and that was fun. And while we're in the forest, I actually caught on video some eye shine looking at us. So we went running into the forest because Chad had seen some eye shine. He was standing and looking, and then turned and ran into the forest. So we ran into the forest too. And I didn't see it, but Chad did. But then while we were filming, we turned off all the lights and we're just sitting there in the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And it was dark. And I'm like, it's only I turned and I thought I saw a shadow move and I had the camera on me and I'm looking into the darkness. I'm like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I saw eye shine. And I'm looking. And then on camera, I actually saw the eye shine looking, and it was walking through the forest.
Oh,
and
nice.
It's funny how these creatures don't make much noise.
No.
Especially
until they want to.
Until they want to, yeah. Well, we've heard them crash through the forest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, one of my best encounters was down in South Georgia. And I was new at doing this, so they sent me to check out some guy that had been just keep calling and texting and emailing. There's something out here, something I never found. There's something wrong with this guy. Just go talk to him. And they sent me alone, which you never do. And we went out walking on his property. It was real late. And about 3 a.m., I heard the whistle. And I'm sure you're familiar with what I'm talking about. When you hear that whistle, you're like, they're in the area. And so I'm talking to him, and I'm like, so do you hear anything? He's like, no. And I'm like, you hear that? And he's like, well, that's just whatever kind of bird. And I'm like, yeah, it's not a bird. He's like, well, I've been in the woods my entire life. That's a bird. And so we did like you. We went towards it. And I ended up getting one basically trapped between the light and a fire road and me. It didn't have any way out. And I heard every bird sound, owl sound I've ever heard in my entire life. I heard a cow moo, and it literally was 10 feet in front of me. And I wish that I had to run into that bush, but something just told me, yeah, you don't want to go in there.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's, it gets to the point where you're like staying there and you can say, I'm just going to go running into the forest, but
Yeah, you're brave up until about that 10-foot distance. When you hear how loud they are, you can feel it. It's pretty intimidating.
And then went to Texas, and that was fun. It's called the Texas Screams for a reason. I imagine, Grizzly, you've watched it. Have you watched that documentary, Searching for Sasquatch 5?
Yeah.
Texas Screams with all the roars and the screams and the howls. That was pretty intense. And then the guy who said he shot and killed a Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
So that was an interesting story. And
it was the one that said he buried it by the road, was it?
No,
Okay.
No, he was next to his truck. So after he shot it, it dropped to the ground, and then he just jumped back in his truck and left. And then he said when he came back the next morning, the creature wasn't there, but there was blood, and there was tire tracks. So I think he was trying to tell us that maybe someone came along with a truck and took the Bigfoot. I don't know.
What do you know about these things? Everybody thinks you know, and none of us really know. So
No.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, who knows? But I'm getting close. Every time I go out there,
So have you been in Tennessee or Georgia, Alabama, down in where that's my area. So
No, I haven't been. No, not yet. I want to though.
Okay.
I want to. Do you have a group out there?
Yeah, I'm a member of 2 different groups, actually 3. So yeah.
Well, you could always fly me down. I'll bring my camera gear and I'll
Well,
come out and we'll film Searching for Sasquatch documentary with your group and, go off into the forest and see if we can find any evidence.
I might know a guy. I'll hook you up with somebody. I don't know if he's a millionaire though. Grizzly takes all my money, so
you know what? You don't have to be a millionaire. Right? I'm a cheap date, right? You just pay for the flight, some food, that's it. Accommodation and camping.
Right. That's not much to ask for, but I tell you one thing, if you're that close to where I'm at, I may put a paper sack on my head and go streaking that night and drink some of that Kentucky moonshine.
That's perfect.
Oh,
I'm going
my
to bring my 4K video camera. And,
all right, make sure to bring that holy water because that's the time I'm going to be throwing it at you.
There it goes.
So I had
glasses.
It's got 2 legs and 2 wheels. I'm kind of concerned. And 1 long track behind it. I'm not sure what that was.
What does it do with that thing?
Oh,
Michael says, I'll do it with you. Let's roll. So
yeah, Michael's
Brenda,
not a believer, so yeah, we gotta convince
keep him away
him.
from bushes. So actually, I had a phone call the other night from one of my law enforcement buddies that moved not too far from Lexington. Well, I just moved from Lexington. He called me up and he was like, you said you were going to do it, and I didn't believe you. And all these years, you finally did it. And what a bunghole you were. He didn't say that, but he said a lot worse. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, dude, you saw my cameras around the house. And I'm like, no, I know you moved because you showed it. He's like, I know what you did, Grizzly. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he says, that was you with the paper sack running around my house naked. I'm like, no, sir. Unfortunately, I can't run. And I had to explain to him why I was not able to run. But he swore up and down it was me. So, but no, it wasn't. So he's still trying to play detective. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would never do that.
There's a fat, bald guy running around Kentucky streaking. Oh, my.
Yeah, with the paper sack over his head, just like I said I would do to him.
Oh my!
They will shoot you down here.
Yeah.
I'm in Georgia, and we would probably shoot. Well, I live in the city, so we'd still probably shoot you, but
yeah. So
that's because, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, come on, it's the way we roll. It'd probably be gang traffic if we got shot at. So
yeah.
See, I don't know if I can ever do anything serious with Jason, because if you ever watch his TikToks, he's standing out in the middle of the woods at night with an apple. Hey, Bigfoot, you want an apple? Are you hungry? And I'm like, dude, are you serious? I mean, I don't want to feed the damn things. So,
what they say, feed them once.
That's actually Searching for Sasquatch Chapter 2.
Yes.
Basically the end of that. And where I took the flare that I had, and you could see something moving back and forth, but you couldn't see it with your eyes. Yeah, it was really bizarre. Mm-hmm. And you could hear it walking. You could hear them walking. And you could see it on the flare. Like, just just going back and forth. And then at one time it goes this way and then turns and runs that way. and you couldn't see it with your naked eye, but you could see it, or you could hear it as they're walking. And so, yeah, that was a bizarre, and that was in snow, right? So it was wintertime.
Yeah, I've never camped in the snow. I've always wanted to, but I've never camped in the snow.
Yeah, summertime is way better.
Yes. But well, not here in the South, actually. No, not really. So June, when it's 102 and the humidity is about 175%. And
he just can't snuggle with me. That's what it is.
I'm not going to snuggle with you either. So,
hey,
Chris,
you sleep on the floor. What's that?
Do you ever get out into the
floor? No, I do not. I am where I am now going to. I had some experiences when I was younger. I was talking about that in the chat about eye shine and stuff, and with my dad hunting. Now we know what it was, right? The smell and stuff. But I gather myself with my new location. I moved back to my hometown in northern Kentucky, where I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Bigfoot groups, and 3, 4, 5 different ghost hunter organizations around. So I got my equipment to where I can do everything out there in the field, audio, video, record everything, and broadcast live.
Yeah.
So, right. So I'm really stoked about that.
Yeah.
So, so I'm really, really excited because back in Lexington, with my injuries and stuff, I wasn't able to get out. But now I can wobble around a little bit. So, we got things planned. I got settled in.
See, what we do is we call him a high-tech redneck. So
high tech.
So he doesn't know how to use all the tech. He messages me in the middle of the night. He's like, "You still up? I'm trying to figure out how to use these infrared cameras in series." I'm like, "What? I'm not even awake. What are you talking about?"
I bought these one cameras, right? They're the flare, infrared, both, whatever, and they're made from China. And now I know why I paid $100 and some bucks for it. So, like I told Sportcat, it looked like you made it out of your garage, but it works.
So I want to play you one of the EVPs.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see if you can actually hear what it says.
Hello, my name is Jason, and I'm Ray. What is your name? So I'm holding this little blinking red light recorder. If you talk, we can hear what you have to say. What is your name? Can you tell me how you died? Make a noise, like a knock. How did you die?
Did you hear that?
Yeah. What was it trying to say?
How did I die?
How did you die?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's creepy.
I say, how did you die? And then it just, I think it says, I don't know. How did I die?
Yeah, that's right. I do not know how I die.
Yeah. It's you can hear it way clearer when it's on the documentary. I enhanced it a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the way most of them you have to, unless you get a Class A, to where it's perfectly crystal clear, and it's like we're not talking in the room. Look at the video, and they replay the video and everything. So yeah,
I was gonna say the Class A, isn't that where you can hear it without the recorder?
I think so.
I'm not sure.
Disembodied voice, they call it. Disembodied is when you hear it in real time. Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is. It's
I'm
interesting.
not a fan of the things that go boo like that.
Oh,
I'll take the big hairy creature any day of the week. So
well, I caught some talking that was weird in the forest. It was like wop wop beep wop wop. Like it was like mumble jumble talking.
Now, while you've been out in the forest, have you experienced any other type of animal or creature that you just couldn't explain?
Yeah. I don't usually talk about it though, but because it just makes me feel like it just makes me sound like a complete weirdo. But
No, you're on the right show for this.
Yeah, we're weirdos. So.
Yeah. I'm not really ready to talk about it.
Sure.
Not at the moment, but it's definitely strange, and it baffled me, and I still to this day can't believe what I looked at. So, and,
Well, Jason, I'll tell you this: you're not the only one. A lot of people that seen certain things cannot wrap their mind around it. Some of them walk away with PTSD. That cannot go back in the woods, hunt or fish. And it takes them a long time to even come forward. I mean, it may be another 15, 20 years. Who knows? It's hard. So
yeah, I had an adventure one night with it. Was just, well, I think it was a dream. I don't know. And I didn't go camping for over a year. It's probably about 18 months. I didn't go back out in the woods.
Well,
it was a dream.
Well, I imagine if the day that Bigfoot walks out in broad daylight, slaps me in the face, I think, I'm going to have to rethink everything if that happens. Hopefully I have my video camera rolling at that moment.
Have you experienced any phenomena like your battery's going dead and stuff like it's weird, isn't it? Yeah.
All the time.
Compasses, GPSs just going crazy, and
I one time followed lights. I one time followed lights into the forest, saw these lights moving. And then I stopped everyone and said, guys, shh. Look, it's moving. Do you hear that? And everyone's like, what? What is it? No, I don't hear anything. I'm like, exactly. Look, I'm stepping on the ground and it's crunching under me because of these leaves. But listen, there's nothing. Because everyone's saying it's someone with a flashlight. I'm like, well, how are they moving literally through the forest without any sound? I take one step and it's crunch, crunch.
Crunch, crunch, yeah.
And I'm like, guys, it's not someone with a flashlight. So that's weird. And then we followed it and it took us and then it disappeared. And then around a whole bunch of bushes, when we walked around it, there was these two big tombstones. These big tombstones in the middle of the forest.
Wow.
Where people had died and they got buried right there. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And the lights disappeared. That was really strange. But lucky for me, I was with a whole bunch of people that saw this, so I wasn't completely nuts. Only half nuts, not full.
You got to be a little nuts to be out in the woods out like that. I mean, especially after you become aware of things and you realize that we're not just out here camping and having a good time. There's something out there, it's weird. But one of the things, and I tell everybody, if you want to go have the best experience, go to the same place. Don't go to a real popular place. Go to the same place, get a couple people you're comfortable with, have good intent, go a few times and camp. Eventually something will probably happen. And it just seems to be the way it is, because one of my friends told us, he said, well, if you think about it, we're their cable TV, because, they don't have anything different. We're the oddball out in the woods, so they come to us. So I was like, oh, I like that. Just let them come to you. That's the best part.
What I found is the very first night, the very first day we get there, we make lots of noise. We're laughing, giggling, just having fun. We have the campfire going. We do howls, whoops, wood knocks, just have a good old time. Yep. And then I find that the next day or the next evening, these creatures come around. It's like the first day they hear us, and then they come down. And then the next night is when we get all the action, so that's usually the routine that I take. And I'm not quiet in the forest. I all the time people contact me going, you have to tiptoe through the forest. Be quiet. No. You're going to scare these creatures. I'm telling you, these creatures know we're there, from miles away. They know we're there. We just look like fools. These Sasquatch people are watching. this funny blonde-haired guy tiptoeing through the forest, whispering. Right?
Yep.
It's, I mean, yes, you don't want to go be blowing off firecrackers and stuff.
Sure.
Doing that stuff, but just talk normal and
Just make your presence known. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. And a lot of times it comes to you. Now, the best ones we have is the brave guys that stick around, and it's like one guy left after you've been there for like a long weekend, you like 3 days maybe, and that fourth day, everybody breaks camp, but that one guy, the brave guy, that's when they usually have some of the craziest experiences. So.
Yeah, totally. And they're by themselves.
Yeah.
Well, I once, I've done that. I've taken a helicopter into the forest, got dropped off for 3 nights, way off in the middle of nowhere.
Just bivvy.
An hour in, dropped off, just walked around and found crazy stuff out there. Saw some crazy stuff.
And you were by yourself, or you had people with you?
What's that?
You were by yourself, or you had people with you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that's when I found the lake that had hundreds of those big footprints that went right through them.
Wow.
And the First Nations people said that I found the migration path to the Sasquatch, all the way from Alaska, all the way down to California. I took a drone and I droned it. I actually droned the footprints so you could kind of see them all going through. Yeah, it was really neat to see.
I have to check that one out. I haven't seen that one. That one sounds very neat.
Very
brave man to be up there that far by yourself.
Yeah. Have you ever had things thrown at you? Sticks, rocks?
So when I was in Ohio, we had a log that was thrown. It hit the tree beside us and crashed. Scared the out of me. I jumped. I was facing this way, and then you crash, and I hit the ground. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then caught eye shine looking at us from the forest. Yeah, it was it's really neat. Like, these creatures do like to come in, but they seem to know how far to stand just outside of the infrared light, like the beam of light. Because my beam of light only goes so far.
Sure.
And these creatures seem to be able to stand just out of the length of the beam of light. It's so strange.
I don't know if you read any of Ron Moorhead's stuff, but he gets into the quantum mechanics and physics of science, really. And he talks about that he thinks that they have some type of, almost like cats do, an infra what does he call it? Infrasound something.
Yeah.
And he believes that can help also to distort our vision if they get too close.
Yeah, it's true. I studied it. I studied infrasound, and it was interesting. I felt it when I was in Texas. You could hear the big screams, and it just goes right through you. I was in BC, and I went up to these lakes, got a canoe, and just canoed for hours into this lake, into this area. And I got off. I put the canoe, and I went and built a fire, and then I decided to do a howl. And when I did the third howl, I got back kind of like a growl, and it could feel it. And it went on, like the growl was like
prolonged. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was, and then I went towards where the growl went. And there on the other side of a whole bunch of Devil's Club, about 30 feet from me, was this black shape that kind of looked like a gorilla. And it was just looking at me, and I'm filming it with my camera. And my camera is going in and out of focus. Like I'm trying to get it, and I'm tapping the camera. I'm like, come on. And you could see in the camera, it was out of focus, but you could see the shape. And it was black, midnight black. So it stood out and I'm trying to think, is that a cougar, a bear, what the heck? And I wanted to get closer, but there was all this Devil's Club. And Devil's Club it has spines all over it. And I knew that if it was a bear, I'd have to run through the Devil's Club. And I would be in so much pain. That would probably end of the camping trip. That and being ripped apart by Sasquatch. Yeah.
Oof.
So that was
Unbelievable.
a really cool trip.
Well, now, while you've been out in the woods, have you seen anything like wild tigers, or not tigers, wild cougars and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you'll see every now and then you'll see the coyotes. Very rarely will you see the coyotes. You'll see foxes and things, but I had an opportunity. Yeah, coyotes are pretty common, and then what's the bobcat? You'll see them occasionally, not very often. But I was up at Mom's, and I just happened to be up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and she lives by a cemetery, by a big cow farm out in the woods in Tennessee. I went out and was vaping, and I walked to the end of the sidewalk. I looked around, and I thought I saw a deer. I was like, oh, deer, because I saw brown. And then I was like, wait a minute, deer doesn't have a curly tail. And I looked just as that mountain lion stepped into the woods, and I'm like, yep, time to go back inside. That's the only time I've ever seen one out in the woods. Have you seen them out in the wild like that?
Yeah. Oh, I've seen cougars. I remember one time I was hiking through the forest, and I stopped and just happened to look up, and they're just sitting in the tree about 20 feet away, just this cougar just looking at me. It wasn't in attack mode or nothing. The tail was just twitching, and I just backed up. And
Yeah,
I didn't want to turn my back, because you never turn your back on a wild animal. Hence, I just told everyone to, like, look away from.
Don't follow your own advice.
Turn your head.
Well, a mountain kitty is a little bit different creature, because they're also silent, and they can be very deadly just as well. And they will stalk you. They will stalk. A cat will stalk you. Everybody's like, oh, afraid of the Bigfoot. No, I'm more afraid of the cat. The cat is the one that's in the southeast. That's the one, in my opinion, you need to probably worry about eating you. What
a cougar will not do, it will not stalk you if there's a lot of you. Like if there's 2, 3, 4, they'll usually stay away.
Yeah.
They'll usually stay away. And that's, the Searching for Sasquatch documentary, chapter 6. The one with, I came around the bushes, and there it was standing about 7 feet, then it dropped to the ground, and it was just looking at me in the forest. I was like 20 feet away, and I'm filming it. I just happened to have my video camera on, and I came around the bushes, and I was with everyone, but my ADHD got the better of me, and I was bored, so I just walked away from everyone, and there it was, just looking at me, and it was just looking like this. And I'm just watching it, and everyone's like, well, maybe it's a bear. And I'm like, well, hey, there's no bears in the area, because I didn't see any scat, didn't see any claw, no footprints. The people, I was with the people that own the land, and they're professional hunters, and they've only seen one bear in like 30 years of hunting on that land. And no cougar, and it wasn't a bird, because the last thing a bird will do is fly down. Like an owl will not fly down to the ground and get closer to a human. And we had just finished making a hell of a noise in the forest, because we could see the eye shine peeking from behind the trees, and we were running towards it, and we could hear them crashing through the forest. It wasn't until we sat down in the darkness, and we were just all listening, and then I walked away, and that's when I caught whatever just staring at me in the forest. But man, I was so scared. I was trying so hard not to shake, thinking, please don't eat me, because the whole time everyone's like, it's a young one. So all I'm thinking is, man, this is a young Bigfoot. The parents are going to just tear me apart from behind. So all I'm thinking is, oh my gosh, I'm waiting to get grabbed or something. And then I called everyone over, and then you could hear it run off. See, this is the thing about wild animals. The human voice to a wild animal means death. That's what it means. It means danger. No animals usually stay around where when they hear a human talking or a human voice, they run away, right? That's why they say when you're in bear country or cougar country, make lots of noise, because the bears will run away. right? So we had just finished making a hell of a noise. We weren't being quiet at all. And here I am standing 20 feet away from something that was standing 7 feet and
Wow.
hit the ground and just bobbing back and forth, looking at me in the forest. So yeah, it was really cool to see. I'm glad that, you know, these things aren't that aggressive. Maybe I'm just, you know, maybe I'm just on thin ice.
Well, when you get, like you were talking about, you also do for people photography. Do you ever do like snakes and things like that, reptiles?
All the time.
Really?
Yeah. I've done
Wow.
alligators. I've done giant snakes. I did the world's largest spider.
Okay, how big is the world's largest spider?
It's about the size of a dinner plate.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Is it venomous?
Okay, so it's funny how a lot of people ask me that. All spiders on this planet, every spider on this planet is venomous.
Okay.
All of them. It's just a few of them that are quite deadly, where the venom will kill you, injure you, right? So yes, it's venomous, but it's almost like a bee sting. That's what it is. So if it does bite you, but the fangs,
oh gosh,
fangs were huge on it, and when it walked, because I have arachnophobic, right? But I wanted to take a chance, and I put it on my arm, and as you can see, my arm is massive, like these guns. This spider had lots of room to crawl. Actually, no, it actually had to put its legs in as it was moving. It was, yeah, because it was so big, and because I'm part skeleton, that it had to. Yeah, it was really cool to see.
Well, so all right. So I did some photography when I first started my career. How do you photograph a spider as a pet with a person? I mean, what is it like on their shoulder, and they both got a sign up that says hi? I mean, what?
No, it's on his shoulder. Yeah, it's on his shoulder. So an interesting thing about spiders is all you have to do is go. He's blowing it, and when you blow on it, not like. You want to just give it a little puff, and it stops. It actually stops when you blow on it a little bit. It stops for just a second, and then you just take the photos. And yeah, the photos came out great. You have this special lens. You get right up to the eyeballs. Yeah, it was really cool. You know,
how macro of a lens is that, for gosh sakes?
Well, I mean, that's pretty macro. I mean,
yeah,
remember, this is a giant spider, so you can see the eyeballs. Right? You can see them.
Did it high five you when you were done? I mean,
I actually got to walk on my face. Actually.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, spiders and snakes, not a fan at all. So,
yeah, well, so there is a documentary on Tubi. It's called Amazing Animals.
Okay.
And it basically has me traveling around Canada, photographing and interviewing people that have African servals and wolves and big snakes and spiders and all these different animals. And it's kind of a fun, it's a family friendly, fun documentary if you want to watch something about a little bit about my life. I also have a YouTube channel called A Photo Warrior. That's with an A, all one word, A Photo Warrior. And you can actually find, or you just Google Jason Kenzie Animal Adventures, and you will find 400 little documentaries of behind the scenes of my animal adventures. There's lots. There's bobcats, there's wolves, there's snakes, there's spiders, there's foxes, there's so many monkeys. There's so many. And if people don't like those animals, there's lots of puppies and kittens and all those kind of stuff. One summer I got into baby animal mode. So I was taking photos and doing videos of all baby animals, like chicks and little baby geese and kittens and like different kinds of kittens, like the naked kittens.
Mm-hmm.
little puppies, like the poodle puppies, and all these unique little puppies, the naked puppies. Oh, there's naked stuff.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Seen a
I
trend
just let
here.
them roll. Yeah. I mean,
You started talking about puppies, and they were all naked. So you do animal porn? Okay, we're with you. So.
Oh,
here comes that word again.
He
loves to say that word.
There's lots of videos you can go check out. If you go to my Facebook page, Searching for Sasquatch, you can keep up to date of how the comic book is coming along. So when I do finally launch it, people hopefully will,
Would you sign mine?
I will sign it. I will sign anyone that buys it. There won't be much. I'm not charging the $200.
Yeah, the comic book's $12, but let me tell you, you're gonna get an autograph. That's another $70.
No, I think the comic book won't be any more than $15 for the comic book. So I don't
That's
think
not bad for self-publication. That's not bad at all.
No, not at all.
No, I don't want it to be too expensive. I want people to be able to, $200. But
hey, well, now, did you go to a publisher and sell this, or did you just one day decide you were going to do it?
I will go. No, I haven't got a publisher. I just wanted to. I wanted to do a Sasquatch comic book. I just thought it was time to.
So are you a comic book nerd?
Yes.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Okay, so DC or Marvel?
I did both.
Okay.
Marvel would be Wolverine.
Gotcha.
Not really X-Men. I really love Wolverine, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's mine. Yeah.
Really love that. The Venom. I really like that kind of stuff. G.I. Joe. Transformers. I really like that stuff when I was young. And then DC Comics, Batman. Batman was my, I loved collecting my Batman. In fact, I just sold all my comic books, actually. Just sold them all. I had 4,000 comic books.
Oh, wow.
The newest one. The newest one I had was 20 years ago. So they were all new all the way back. In fact, I just found another box that I didn't see. And that has the Web of Spider-Man and all the
nice.
All the stuff that I thought that I had sold. But yeah, so I thought a comic book would be great. I mean, I did the song, right? You heard the Searching for Sasquatch song?
No, I have not.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a song that I wrote.
Okay. I will look this up. Yeah.
And Todd Parsons, he played the music and recorded it. And, it's called Searching for Sasquatch, and it's kind of a country bluegrass kind of song.
Awesome. How have we not met? That's what I'm curious about, because these are the same little realms I travel into. So
you know what's sad though is he's an admin in a couple of our groups.
Yeah, it's very professionally done. I did a Bigfoot sleep story.
Awesome.
So a sleep story is a story that is audible. So I narrated it, and it's supposed to help you go to sleep. And so I contacted a professional sleep expert, this professor that he helps people sleep, and I asked him for a sound, some kind of a vibration or sound that he used for his professional practice, and he gave it to me. So I put that in the sounds in the
soundboard,
underneath, so subliminal. And I put sound design and water, like a river and birds, and it's called Through the Eyes of a Bigfoot. That's what it's called. It's called a Enchanted Sleep Story, a Bigfoot sleep story through the eyes of a Bigfoot. And we only hear stories from eyewitnesses, from people. Right. So I reversed it. I made it so the story was through the eyes of a Bigfoot.
Awesome.
Including the Patterson Gimlin film.
Oh, so that's pretty cool.
The story through him or her.
Or Patty. Yeah, through Patty.
Right? Of course. Yeah, there's a twist there, but I actually thought, what would the Bigfoot think? Seeing these people jump off a horse and run up. And so it's through the eyes, and it puts you to sleep. So it's, when you listen to it, lie down, put it on, and just let it do its thing. You shouldn't be able to hear the ending because it should put you to sleep.
Yeah.
Well,
That's kind of
awesome.
cool. Yeah, I just bought a Bluetooth speaker that's it's a little tiny, like a little soundbar looking thing, and it's got gel on one side. You put it underneath or not underneath, but under your pillowcase, and it doesn't. I mean, you could hear it if you have it at maximum volume. You can hear it, but if you lay on it, because it's got the gel, you can't really feel it. It makes conduction.
Oh yeah,
And you can feel it and hear it as if it's like symphonic.
Yeah,
that's the coolest dang thing. I know. I'm probably getting old, and that's like old technology, but I think they call it like bone conduction or something technology. And I was like, that's pretty damn cool. Because you literally, I don't know if I told you about this, Grizz. You literally, it's just a little tiny box, and full blast on the phone, whatever. I put in something in the radio, and boom, you hear it only when you touch it. If you roll over off your pillow and you're not touching it, you don't hear it at all. It's the craziest thing.
That's pretty wild.
So here's something interesting. I published 4 children's books.
Okay.
This book is called Adventures of Little JJ, Rescue to Cryptid Island. So it has a little female Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster. There's JJ. There's a little First Nations girl. And then there's a little ghost. And then there's Mothman or Moth Boy here. And so they go on a mission to save.
That's pretty neat.
Bigfoot
Yeah.
people.
What age group?
It's for pretty much all ages.
Yes, you are included, Sportcat.
Well, I mean, if it's got big words, I can probably read it because that's the only thing I've ever read is comic book. So,
I mean, it's just like a comic book, and then this one is Adventures of Little JJ, and he goes on a mission under the ocean to searching for the lost golden pearl.
That's awesome.
There's a pun there because my mom's name is Pearl, and she's passed away. So I thought, it would be kind of cool.
That is very nice.
And then I did. Where is it? I have to find it. It is.
And we're running over tonight, Grizz. I mean, I don't care. As long as we haven't lost them, as long as you're still there.
Oh, I'm still here.
Cute one. No, we're talking about, we were running over tonight, and I was like, I don't care. We still got the cute ones I see in the chat, so I'm all good. So.
Here's something interesting that people didn't know is quite a few years ago, I actually published British Columbia's very first pet newspaper. So it was a pet newspaper, and it's an actual newspaper. It's not a magazine. So it has, it has little stories and stuff, and it's called the Urban Pet Gazette. It's not around anymore, but it ran for 4 years.
Oh, wow. That's a long time.
Every month. And it was, I wanted to do something different. And BC, Canada, they never had a newspaper. The difference between a newspaper and a magazine is staples. Once you put staples into something, it's now a magazine. And so I wanted to have it with no staples because I wanted it to be a true newspaper.
Newspaper.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah. I never knew that was I guess that's the AP's definition. So.
Yes.
Now, on your comic book, are you doing it electronic or are you still doing storyboard? The old, I don't even know how, but.
Yep.
Are you going to sell them? Are you going to sell a sell page?
I mean, if it does well, I don't see why I wouldn't.
I know a guy. I would like a page, buy a sell page.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big comic book geek. I've got one from Transformers. I've got one from Spider-Man. I've got one from Speed Racer. So I'm a big geek like that, and
that's pretty cool.
So yeah,
I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't.
All right, so we got 2 of them sold.
Perfect. I don't even know what to sell them for. I mean, well, we'll see when it comes.
I have no idea.
Well, it depends on a lot of things, but yeah,
but it'll be a rough. It's
sure, yeah. That's
not much detail. It's kind of, it's really. It's
there's different, what do they call them, storyboards, and then they go to sell pages or something, isn't it? I forget how in the production of them, because back in the old day before everything went digital.
Right now I have the rough sketch, the
rough
sketches of them, which is kind of cool. I'll have to find out if we're, going to be doing the cells. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm leaving that up to the illustrator. But,
Yeah.
just keep in touch. But yeah, I guess I should get going. It's late. I need to.
No, we greatly appreciate it.
Oh, we're good.
And
We're good. We just,
Yeah.
for some of our fans, I know we run late into the night. So, but I'm fascinated. Well, by the Bigfoot, and then the comic books and all that stuff. So I'm a huge fan. I don't know how we haven't met already. I really don't, because I'm into the Transformers, the Spider-Man, all that geeky stuff. So
yeah, I'm a real nerd for sure.
It's that's what I think. I think a lot of us really are in the paranormal world, because you gotta be. Yeah. I mean, honestly, because if you believe, no, that's not the right way of saying it. I think it opens your imagination up. No, I'm not trying to say anything bad. I'm saying I think it opens up your imagination more, and it allows you to be able to think outside the box. Mm-hmm. So that's the way I feel about it. I think because most of us in the group are either comic book or Star Trek, Star Wars, something. So it's not like we sit around and read books and play chess. That's a bunch of crap. So
yeah, exactly. Well, I think one thing I'd love to, I know it might sound conceited, but I would love to get an action figure made of myself. That would be kind of cool.
I want it autographed on the box.
But here's the thing. To have an action figure made, I'd have to get a Sasquatch figure made at the exact same time, kind of hovering over me, or at least holding me, or something. It can't just be a figure of me. It has to be like either I'm being grabbed by Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
At the same time, you can take it and just have me as an action, but there has to be a combination of a.
Is it Urban Pop that makes a scene with a little character? Of course, they don't look very realistic. They got like the big heads and stuff. I think is it Urban Pop?
Oh, no, I don't know who does that.
I think you know who I'm talking about, because I've got the one of Baby Yoda eating, with the eggs. Yeah. And they did a limited run on that, and it's got the whole little scene. You've got the little I don't remember what it was called, but the pot where you can see the eggs and Baby Yoda's up against it. It's got the whole scene. So
that's cool.
Well, yeah.
So what? Joe's actually asking you a question, Jason. Did you see it there on your screen?
Indiegogo for your comic. I was thinking about that, Joe. Yeah. Thing is, I've never done an Indiegogo, so I don't even know where to start with that. I guess I could look into it.
Heck, you found an artist and all this other stuff.
Well,
you found the artist and all the other stuff.
I mean, I imagine maybe people might throw in $2 here, $2 there to help with something like that.
Between Sportcat and myself, I think we can make that action figure come true.
Wouldn't that be great? I'd love that.
I think we have the connections, don't we?
Yeah.
I'm so happy and searching for Sasquatch action figure, right?
What about
have
a
your
challenge
illustrator?
Coin?
What's that?
What about a challenge coin?
Hold on. I know where you're going with this.
Everything would be possible, I'm always open for anything,
Patches.
What's that?
Patches,
I'm not making patches at the moment. There's a long story with that.
That's cool.
Yeah, if I can get it to stay. That's my first sighting. That's George Washington on the back of or it's his head on the Sasquatch on the back of a foot. But my first, okay, thank you, Chris. My first encounter was the Mount Vernon monster in Alexandria, Virginia. And so I made a coin for it that I sell. There's no patent or trademark infringement that I'm aware of. Jesus Christ, I'll probably get an email. But
now you do.
Yeah. But, Gris, see, you turned red, Gris. You turned red. Don't be another stalker. But I made a coin out of it. And it's on one side of the coin, it's the Mount Vernon monster holding a stick. It glows in the dark. And on the back, since I said, well, it's a quarter. And I looked at the quarter and I said, well, it's got to have George Washington on it. We're Mount Vernon. So I took the typical Patty form and I drew her, made her hairy, put George Washington's head on her, and I was like, well, it's got to be the footprint.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we have a little mint mark on the quarter, or the coinage. I put my high school seal there. Yeah, instead of the, you know, Philadelphia, New York, whatever, San Francisco. And then on the outside of the edge, and where it's in Latin, I put the possible scientific. I was in biology class at the time, finishing my bachelor's. Put the possible, what could be the scientific name for Sasquatch. And then the bottom, I had a Latin phrase like "is to be to not to be." So it's kind of cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So we'll get with you offline and throw you some ideas and show you some things that we've done.
Wearing this outfit and the leather coat, you know.
Oh yeah.
No chaps.
Yeah.
No chaps.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
I have a feeling that we're going to end up being really good friends.
That's good.
Because we both embarrassed Grizzly. So
you guys go.
Thank you, Jason, so much. And once again, how does people get a hold of you?
So you can go to Searching for Sasquatch on the Facebook page. I'll try and respond. Just go and watch my Searching for Sasquatch documentary series on Tubi. Mm-hmm. It's also on like 6 or 7 other streaming platforms, but I really like Tubi. It's free.
Good service, yeah.
You know, people don't have to pay for the service, and it's a lot of fun. It's family oriented, and
can any of y'all hear this in the background?
No,
I don't hear nothing.
Okay, well, I'll tell you in a minute.
And it's great. You know, that's how you can get a hold of me. Just say hi. I'm not shy. You know.
And Jason, thank you for coming on for short notice. I greatly appreciate it. I always love you on the show. Anything we can do to help you out, we're here.
Oh,
let me know.
Definitely, I'll take you up if we can do a figure of some kind. That would be.
If you've got your artists already got some artwork of you together, get it to me or Grizz or somebody.
Well, if you go on my Facebook page, you can actually there's pictures of me with my outfit on.
Yeah.
With the shirt, with the leather jacket, with the dark pants and the brown boots. I mean, that's basically the outfit I use for all the, you know, the leather jacket. That leather jacket has saved me so many times. My God. I'll never go into the forest without a leather jacket because it just saves you from thorns and animal attacks and just other stuff. I got bit by a wolf and it got me on the arm.
Bit by a wolf? Okay, before you go, how do you get bit by a wolf?
Well, I was taking pictures of it, and there was a younger one, and the younger one got ambitious and jumped up and bit me on the arm, and then I was able to kick it off. And then
when we say young one, are we talking the size of a Chihuahua or a Labrador?
No, it was big. It was probably about 9 months old, so it wasn't a tiny puppy. It was jealous. I think it was jealous, and it just and I thought it had ripped the leather jacket. I was more concerned about the leather jacket than anything else. and I was bleeding. I had this little cut here. I cried myself for months, I'm telling you. But I went and looked at my leather jacket. It was fine. Not even a rip, not even a bite mark. I was so surprised.
They're so comfortable, yeah.
Those teeth on those wolves are so sharp. But yeah, I love that leather jacket. But anyway, on that note, my friends.
Thank you. I look for my friend request.
I'll be in touch with you tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Jason.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it.
I love you. So thank you. Take care. Night. But man, do I tell you.
I'm big.
Yes. I
have a short coming up here soon, so maybe we might have Jason back. I like that. Amanda gets bit by a werewolf a wolf and survives. I like it.
Yeah, really?
I like that story. So
you never know. So that is the thing. But yeah, I mean, I think we had a really good show, ladies and gentlemen. Andy says great listening to you, Jason. So yeah, I think it's good.
And next week we have a comedian who this will just make you happy. She's a psychic and a pastor. Corby is a world-renowned psychic and medium based out of New York. So she's had mystic powers for 50 years, and she wants to come on and tell us about it. So
Oh,
we'll see.
dear.
I don't know. I'm still trying to get my porn star. So
Sitting by the pool.
looking for my porn star or a cougar or a stalker that won't put me in jail. One or the other. I don't care.
It's really, really cold this last feeling days, but we got
beer.
God beer. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in.
It's been
tonight.
great, guys and gals.
Pleasure. We'll see you next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
That's right.
And the audio
And
will
you
be
can,
posted in the morning sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. I don't know. I might rip it tonight. I may sneak up to Knoxville this weekend, so I'll do it early. So, yep. You can find me on Twitter at Sportcat. You can find me Sportcat Medic on Facebook, and I don't know if you're my stalker. You've already found me in all my places. So,
Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm around somewhere.
well, you said you don't accept friend requests, so
Not
you
what
already
I
deleted
said.
and blocked me. I mean, you know.
Oh, my Lord. Everybody loves beer, ladies and gentlemen, from coast to
That's
coast
right.
and around the world.
I want a Mount Rainier. See you, Andy.
See you, Andy.
And to all the hot ladies out there, good night. Thank you for staying tuned. Oh, and yeah, Grizz, it was kind of nice doing a show with you, too. After hearing that, I don't know. We just lost our entire audience. It's just
Good
horrible.
night, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thanks again.
Ta-ta for now.